So guys, let me introduce you to one of my favorite drills and very much linked to how we can get better at the pushy bit. You see, the push is an application of pressure. We're talking about arm extension, sort of doing that. Yes, we know we kind of need a good base, so we've got a bit of anchorage and a connection to the ground. But that arm extension is really what we're talking about when we are pushing and driving the club. So anything that we can use that's going to help with a bit of resistance is going to be very helpful for you to feel and understand exactly how the pushy part works. So what I've done here is I've raked up a big pile of sand. Now, let's just confirm, this isn't a bunker shot. This isn't to improve your bunker play in any way, but this is to improve. This is a drill and an exercise that's going to help you understand a lot more of the feels. And when we've got a bit of resistance, that's what we're using the sand for, is really going to help. I've also, importantly here, got a 5-iron. So quite a straight club face here that's going to help have a bit of resistance on the club face. If I used my sand iron, it's going to almost cut through the sand a bit too easy. I'm not going to feel much of that resistance. So choose one of your straight-faced club, 5-iron, a long iron, 6-iron would even be fine, but anything 6, 5, 4, 3, anything like that was going to help us out. Something basically with a nice kind of flat face, so we're going to feel the sand. So once we have raked up this big pile of sand, what I want you to feel is that you can take your base, you've got a nice connection to the ground, and then what we're going to do is just bury your club head at the start of this kind of line of sand. And from here, we're going to create a little bit of impact shape, so a little bit of shaft lean. And importantly, we are going to align this right arm of yours to make sure it's in the back of the club very nicely and ready to push very much down the line of the sand, which will be down the line of your target. That's going to be down the intended line of the path that you would like to go on, and really seeing just how this sand is offering a nice bit of resistance for me to help feel that sensation. Be careful. Of course, some of you may not have done this particular drill before, or you may be using some other tools to sort of go through impact in a sort of poor way. So for those of you that get a little bit too rotary with your body, you're going to see that actually rotation is going to drag that club in and left. If someone is going to get a little bit too flicky, a bit wristy, it's almost like we're trying to scoop up some of this sand. And if we've got turn and a scoop going on, you can start to see that, or actually, I'm going to scoop some sand and I'm going to turn left. The only way that we could drive the club down the line is to really use this arm extension. Remember, pushing is a linear force and it allows us to actually push that club down the line. It's a nice firm wrist that's going on. If I'm loose with my wrist, I could move the grip and nothing much would happen with the sand. But if I'm here with a nice firm hold, got my connection to the ground, and my right arm is aligned perfectly, from here, I can drive that club with ease, actually. It'll feel a bit hard to start with, but as you get better at this, you'll start to see the necessary alignment of your strength, great use of your strength to continue to drive this sort of down the line. Now, a slight advancement on this conversation, if we were going to try and draw it or fade it, my path might change. Well, my path will have to change, actually. And certainly if I'm going to fade it, the path is going to be left. And if I'm going to draw it, the path's going to be sort of out to the right. So certainly in this scenario, that would also be that sort of directional pressure that you're applying to the club. So I could push it out right for my draw shots. I could push it a little bit left for my fade one. Of course, I'm looking after the club face in the ball shape sort of scenario. But this is really about just getting that idea that there's some resistance in the sand. Resistance is going to help you feel the push. You've realigned and aligned your right arm to perform that challenge. And here we go. Some really good movements where you're driving it down the line. It's quite interesting because then as you start driving it down the line, you'll feel that directional force. things are going to start to turn as you drive motion kind of into the body. So from the downline camera, you actually see it move a little bit left because of that rotation. But at no point ever am I trying to make the club go left. It will go left as a consequence of the rotation of the body that's happening. But let me tell you, my force, my pressure, my push is actually down the line of the intended path. So guys, this is a great one. Let's get to work. Let's spend some time in the bunker here, really helping you feel what is the push. Start to get some much more stability, much more pressure linked to proper compression through the ball.